So I have this tiny kettle now because my bigger kettle that I got from a Korean grocery store broke. I love that kettle so much. But this one is fine. I just have to refill it all the time. I've been drinking a lot. When it gets warmer, hopefully that will change back to iced. But anyway, I just made some decaf coffee because it's 11:20 in the morning and I woke up at 6:30 as usual and already had a cup of coffee as soon as I got up. Instant coffee, which I think is probably weaker, but that's why I pretty much only stick to instant coffee now. Hopefully you guys are doing well and you're like totally in the swing of spring. It is warm, it's sunny, we just had daylight savings time, and I'm feeling really good. What is this chocolate I have? Sorry. I know I've been so AWOL, but I like made 2 videos that were, some were updates and some were me just organizing my thoughts because I was going through some difficult decisions at one point. I did not post them, so feel grateful that I didn't do that because they were quite a mess. And like, I don't want to do that messy kind of video, like I said. So I just recorded them, and it helped me because at the time I like didn't have anyone to talk to about it. I'm really cold right now because I just took a shower, so I'm rocking the beanie and I have wet hair and I'm drinking hot water. So anyway, I kind of like my style though. It's kind of like it's like unpredictably weird and it doesn't go together, and I love it because that's how I feel. I made a list of the things I wanted to update you on and chat about, so few of you who know me will probably be interested, and then the others will probably never find us. So let's get started. I hope you're drinking something warm right now. I've been living in LA since August of last year. That puts me at, sorry, so I have to count it every time. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Almost exactly 7 months. And how is it only 7 months? I want to say it's 8. But anyway, feels like I'm close to a year, but apparently I'm just above half a year. And I feel like around the 5-month mark, I started to feel like more at home. And I was like so proud of myself. Like, most people tell me they need like 1 year or 2, but I have like a good support group here and I'm doing so much work. I'm so involved. Like half a year, I already got my yoga place and like my routine and my like people I see regularly. Even though I wasn't working, so it's not like I had like any stress or hardships in the kind of external stress department. So no, it wasn't real life, and I'm fully aware, and I realize that LA has become a very special, interesting time that is not real life, but I don't think I would have enjoyed it if it were, and I wouldn't have liked it. And I love it when I'm not spending 2 hours in traffic, feeling super lonely after work, even sometimes on weekends when everyone's busy and like with their significant others or like traveling and stuff. So LA is difficult. It's difficult and it challenges a lot of my identity and my confidence because you're really encouraged to compare and value things. I am encouraged to value things I don't value. And it's not even that I am sometimes persuaded by them. I just feel like a misfit. And I've spent so much of my life feeling a misfit. You'd think that it would be like fairly comfortable for me, but I do like feel bitter and cynical sometimes because I just don't fit in. Like look at what I'm wearing. I don't fit in. Not to say that people aren't really accepting, but like especially in the industry I work in, it's way better than Hollywood. But like advertising and like I'm not really around like salt of the earth people, you know. Like everyone's still talking about like who they know and what they're doing every night, and like I'm going to a movie release, I'm going to a listening party, or like I have friends who are like trying to um, make a movie. I don't know. That's what that was what I overheard at my old job here. Anyway, God love them. There's something so energetic and electric about it, but I'm also like, I don't really care. I want to talk about books and indie music at the moment. Indie music is just not cool right now. That's cool. I love hip hop and rap. Oh my god, I'm never gonna get done with this update because this is taking me forever. Let's jump into it. So, at the beginning of the year, just as I was feeling a lot of growth with my relationship with my parents and my comfort here in LA, getting a routine, taking about class 3 days a week, and then a wonderful therapist. Started dating like on Tinder, meeting new people, as well as having like a cool routine with my friends, checking off pretty much almost all the things that were on my LA to-do list, which might be worth another video, but everything was good. Like I was feeling productive, and I know that I need that. Otherwise, I resort to a shell, and I hate myself. I was feeling good, and then I decided to start looking for my next job because pretty much I was like, I got it. Like I'm feeling kind of like my time could end now, and I would leave feeling satisfied. Like I had gotten a lot out of it, a lot of growth and comfort in myself. I don't know if I've mentioned that a lot, but like much less anxiety, virtually no anxiety around food and exercise anymore. Not so much anxiety about socializing. I never really had that much, but like what little I had, like I just feel like so much more confident and able to connect and wanting to connect. I wouldn't say like I'm more extroverted, but I kind of feel just like I couldn't handle anything. I feel that kind of fearless capability, which is great. It doesn't stay all the time, but you know, it like I can see that being my default mode now. Is this gonna happen? So I started looking for jobs back in the Bay Area because I'm also very like conscious of my time and my age, and I just didn't want to miss any opportunities that might have come up if I stall and wait, because I had a couple leads that I was really interested in reaching out to. So I did that, and then long story short, I went up to interview much sooner than I thought, so much sooner. I got an offer I couldn't refuse, I guess, which just means that they basically offered me any kind of amount of money I wanted to, so I could, as long as I moved up within the time that they needed me. And I mean, I like them, and I really appreciate their interest. Very, you know, very interested and interested in the right things, I think, which are like my personality and my like kind of my energy and what they think I could contribute as a, culturally, which I think is sort of my biggest asset, or at least the part where I want to explore more. I'll get into that more later. But so I'm taking this job, and I'm moving probably in exactly a week from today, which will be the end of March. And then I'm actually starting even before April 1st, like a couple days after I moved back to the Bay Area. Anyway, it's a senior copywriting job. It's at a company that has a lot of resources, but is not the most exciting. But I can deal with that. I think the work-life balance will be good. There will be some travel involved. I see there being a lot of opportunities to learn But I also think more importantly, I'm ready for a career change actually, and I'm not going to do that anytime soon. I'm definitely going to start exploring this idea more, and luckily, it's something I can explore in the next job I have, and just with the circles that hopefully I'll be exposed to, because what I'm going to try to explore, which really living in LA this in this time has helped me realize, is coaching, whether that's career coaching, online coaching, therapy, consulting, business facilitation, diversity and inclusion, sort of like minority coaching, and all of those things. So obviously, there. I have not fleshed out any of that, but that is the next goal for me. And I am so excited that I have another goal that I don't think is a complete through like 180 shift. It's not like I'm going to be quitting my job again and working in a cafe, or like I guess really scraping by to make ends meet, which is definitely like a I can't do that anymore, I think, at this age. I don't want to. And so I have decided to continue exploring that realm of kind of community building, public speaking, interpersonal relationships, counseling, career coaching, other organizations that hopefully exist within my company that I'm starting at. And also, I'm going to be living. Oh, so next update is like I will be moving back to San Francisco. I haven't lived there in about 8 years or maybe 7 years. And I am actually really excited because I'm going to be living with one of my good friends. Not a best friend, just a really comfortable, wonderful friend that will be able to have our own lives and also merge our lives. We have really similar lifestyles and values. So she is currently in a grad program for counseling for somatic therapy, which is a very specialized kind of therapy that um, is great because she's in this program in San Francisco, or the school called CIIS, that is kind of the leading school in newer contemporary forms of counseling and therapy and all kinds of stuff. You name it, like psychedelics, led therapies, and narrative therapy, which is what I would love to do, somatic therapy, music therapy, like all of the different kinds. I don't even know, like LGBTQ. I looked into that school a couple years ago and had like an informational interview with someone there, and because I was so curious about it, and I still think it's kind of on my radar. It's not right for me now because I think I need to understand my goals again, and I would like to avoid going to school another 2 years and paying about $100,000 if I could just figure out how to pivot there like through work. And I know there are ways. Other people I'm in contact with are the old career coaches that I had when I was going through career coaching after my last job, because I had an amazing experience with mine. And I have been freelancing for them for their website that they're rebranding. So I've been in touch with all the leadership there, and I've kind of started talking about this new goal of mine. So they have it on their radars, and they are able to set me on another path and like guide me and introduce me to people who are in that realm, especially diversity and inclusion facilitation, which is basically like kind of agencies that come in, they send a couple people in who are experts at helping like you connect and communicate and change the way sort of the environment you work in is, and helps you really re-examine the culture of your environment to make it a more healthy, comfortable, diverse, inclusive place for your employees, which is like a super new field. So there's really no one way to get on, like, to get a job in it, like, which is cool because I don't see like I don't think I need to get an MBA or something, which a lot of these usually consulting agencies that's the first thing that would like kind of put you on that path. So yeah, I just realized that since I've been in LA and I had time to think and like look to those who I really admire, my career coach, my therapist, my professors at the community college I'm taking classes in, public speaking professors, and psychology professors. I've realized that there are other options that I'm really interested in somewhere in a field like that where I am helping people one on one and I'm going to be able to find meaning. And it doesn't mean I have to like escape society either. Like I can make a big difference even in corporations if that's what I want. And like that's where all the money is. And like Google and Amazon and big companies are the ones kind of spending their money on like diversity inclusion. The cause of that is like sometimes not the best reason that they're actually impelled to do that, but like, this is where it is still super important. And if I had a better experience in a corporate world, then maybe it wouldn't feel kind of like selling out, or it wouldn't feel so frustrating sometimes. I mean, at best, kind of frustrating. In the worst case scenario, like I've definitely felt like kind of sleazy, like a sleazy vibe from certain companies that I've interviewed with, boys club situations, kind of innuendos, and you can just read Glassdoor and like kind of get a sense that that happens at a lot of new hip places, or like old set in their ways like institutions where leadership hasn't changed in 50 years. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. So I have more to talk about for my job because if you know me or you remember my video on like 30 jobs I've had in the 30 years I've been alive, you will remember that I kind of have job ADD. Let me put you up a little higher. Yeah, I kind of have job ADD, and I've realized that, I mean, first of all, I don't want to go through any of that again. I don't want to go through the drudgery of working somewhere I hate, pulling out my hair, and then quitting within the first 6 months, which has happened to me a lot. And I've realized that while it's less likely now because I am older and I have different goals, I also can design and change my mindset. It is the easiest thing to change for me. If the job isn't like aggressively bad in any way and it pays well enough to make it worth it, like I should be able to kind of just stay put and have the patience to explore my next move while I'm working somewhere 9 to 5. So I have a really specific plan in my head for how to approach my next job without burning out, getting really bored, losing like a feeling that there's any meaning and just kind of hating it and feeling like a cog. And these are all normal feelings that I have almost at every job I've worked at. And so now I'm realizing that there are a couple things I'm going to do to mitigate that and hopefully just avoid that for a few years until I work on my career move. So number one, it's going to be getting enough sleep and kind of just like the nutrition and sleep piece of the puzzle that I did suffer from insomnia for so many years and like eat like crap. So that'll be really important to me. And I've kind of been doing that for a couple years now. So that is number one. Everything else comes second, like sleep and food are number one. Second is getting enough cardio. And I have started seeing cardio as definitely a mood enhancer and a kind of hormonal balancer for me in the past couple months. I can no longer like ignore it. It is so obvious when I am in a bad mood. Cardio can fix it immediately. And to avoid being in the bad mood in the first place, I know I'm going to have to schedule in like very strict cardio before work so that when I am at work, everything's balanced and I feel I'm in my body and it's feeling like it's running smoothly. And there's just like, I can't explain it, but I'm very sensitive to bodily feelings, and I know that it's linked to my depression, and they're like this, like when I'm depressed, I feel physically bad. When I physically feel bad, I'm depressed. So like they're the same thing for me sometimes. So I'm going to get in cardio almost every day, but also with yoga because yoga has been also my love, and in a different way. So I'm going to do those two things. I actually run so much now. Like I'm actually in like a really good cardio shape, and if I do say so myself. And then the other plans are finding meaning. This is also going to be tough and very important. Finding meaning in my new job. And that can be tiny, tiny things like on a project basis, on a interpersonal basis, like making someone smile or kind of creating a more harmonious workplace, which is all about kind of my next job move. So I'm going to be paying really close attention to the workplace dynamics, what makes a manager good, what makes them bad, providing good feedback for my managers, trying to do a great job on every little thing, and just kind of focusing on the moment instead of getting my mind lost in the big picture. Because I know for me, I go from 0 to existential in like 3.5 seconds, and I'm just like, oh, there's no point in this. I can't believe I'm like just working for the man, and like, why am I selling fast food? And like, I just want to end it all when I think about it that way. But I don't need to think about it that way. So I'm going to focus. Of course, there will be days when it will be hard. And finally, the fourth thing is also to find meaning outside of my work life. So I have plans to continue doing stand-up and to meet with my stand-up friend who hopefully will be my writing partner because we've talked about it, someone I love and started at the same time I did. I just feel like right now we're really great support for each other. I'm going to, really just, my goal is to be good at stand-up. I don't want to be famous or anything. I just want to be good at it. I'm not looking to get paid for it or like do any sort of special show, although those will be great, but I just want to feel like I have a good set. And aside from stand-up, I'm probably going to take another acting class, something that gets me out of the writing mode, because stand-up is writing, work is writing. I want to kind of move my body, be with other people, do something that uses less of my writing brain. So I will be taking another class for fun because I just think it's so good to have that. It's just once a week, evening class. It could be drawing, it could be improv. I haven't decided. And I will be dating. That definitely seems like it should come last because I'm not my best when I don't have all of the foundations I've just mentioned that come before dating. But I do want to date and I want to get married and have kids. Like, I want to do that soon and I want to be really intentional and I want to only date people who I think will have that potential. So I'm really, really excited about it. Never dated in San Francisco. Actually, when I lived in Oakland, I only set my radius to the East Bay because I don't like the distance of like 10 miles between the East Bay and San Francisco. But now I'm like in this whole new pool of mostly introverted tech bros who wear North Face. But I will find someone as long as they can wear North Face. Ironically, like maybe we can make it work, right? I'm just looking for like a base level of style and like interest in culture. Doesn't have to be my kind of interest in culture, any kind of interest. It could be Disney movies or like it could be Weezer. I don't care. Although I'm not listening to Weezer with them. Okay, so that's done. Okay, I've updated you on what I'm going to be working on, where I'm going to be living, what are my career goals in the future, what are my long-term and near-term future. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope that you are still enjoying a drink and maybe you need a snack now because I'm kind of hungry. Okay, let's get to the juicy stuff. I started dating someone like right after I found out I was going to move back to the Bay for this job. And I really like them, but I'm not that sad to be leaving, so I must not be sprung, and that's good. I think we both are too old to get caught up in some emotion or even like encourage a lot of emotion. After being here for so long, I finally started dating right when I was leaving. I'm sure there's not a coincidence. I just wanted to have some fun, and I just was in a good headspace to connect with people. So did not expect to really like anyone or to like physically get involved. But I just did with this person after meeting like 5 people, I guess. And some have remained friends with me because I really admire them. But this one, obviously, like there's chemistry, and I really like him. And he has his kind of TV writing job here, so definitely never, I don't think would ever stray from like LA. And I, when I don't let myself miss him, I am just so happy that I met someone I liked pretty quickly, since within a couple months of dating, and it gives me a lot of hope for the future. That's why I am excited to date in San Francisco. I think maybe I'm in a better position to date and to be emotionally like vulnerable and open and all that stuff. And like I have been choosing people who I think are really good choices, who are healthy and have close family relations and are aware of themselves and do like therapy and aren't alcoholics and aren't depressed and aren't polyamorous and all of those amazing things that is like, whoa, I can't believe you're just like a cool person who might also want a monogamous relationship. That is mind blowing to me. Please tell me there are still some of those people in San Francisco. Please tell me they haven't all become poly via Burning Man and psychedelics. But I am very glad I met him, and I will be enjoying the time I have with him until that ends. And I think about all the times I've been uh, obsessive about someone because so chemical, and I cannot control it because I like to this time around I really can't. I really wish I didn't feel kind of chemically like high about this person, because I'm like so much more rational this time around, but I still like I just wish it would get out of my head, because like it's great. He's a great person, but it does not warrant this kind of feeling. Okay, I am not ready to marry him or like have kids right now. Like biologically, just like stop. Yeah, I think the end will just be kind of me rambling that I have had a really great time in LA. You have probably seen, I've experienced a lot of like self confidence, reconciliation with my family. I don't think it's because I was here. It's just I was so ready to change, and being here really, really like sped up the process of me dealing with loneliness and like my eating stuff and like what I actually want with my family and how and my goals, and just being alone a lot and then exploring everything just for funsies is I think subconsciously just like opened up a lot of doors for me and took away a lot of expectations and like doing things for perfection or an end goal. Because when I moved down here and I realized that job wasn't for me and LA probably wasn't for me long term, that was the kind of big challenge that was like, why can't I be good here? Why can't I live that fantasy dream life that I did think I could do, being around culture and working in like entertainment and being loved and just accepted here. And not that I wasn't, but like I kind of let go of that dream a little bit because I realized it wasn't that realistic and my other dreams were competing with it. And when I did that, it was just like, oh, I'm still me, I'm still fine. Maybe it's not the physical things about that life and like the location, but it are certain qualities that I value that I can still take. Like maybe it's a win-win situation. It's not like I'm giving up some dream, because why is it really that I want to work in entertainment or be with creative people? Really, it's because I still feel this intense need to represent myself as an Asian American woman who sort of feels like she's on the fringe and has a very different set of priorities and lifestyle. And so I feel like I could do that almost I can definitely do that in the Bay Area. I wouldn't say I could do that everywhere, but I feel that I can do that, and everything else about the Bay Area just fits like a glove. I just love it there. Um, so being here, it sounds like so clear in hindsight, and it sounds like I'm just like forcing it in like this message, but like I do feel like it just brought on a lot of changes that I was hoping would happen, and awareness and improvement and peace. I just feel at peace. I feel like I came with a question, kind of an existential identity related question, and I got an answer. I am currently really into this book. I might as well, before I say goodbye. I'm feeling so into this book. It's like a gender bender book. It's so fun and witty and like nuanced. It's like the kind of book I read where I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what that feels like, or wow, you're getting really, really specific, and I love how like you're getting into this person's head. But at the plot level, it's just about a guy, Paul, who can change genders, and he's like young and kind of a partier, and he wants to be loved, and he's very into sexual connection. So there's a lot of sex in it, and he kind of like changes genders, and as a male, as he is identified as a gay male most of his life, and he first like kind of it shows a lot of experiences with him and dating men, and then he also can change into girls, and then when he does change into a girl, he mostly explores like lesbian relationships, and it's just so funny and so fresh, and I didn't know about it before I found it. I saw it in the library, so I just took it, and it's so pretty too. I love it so much. And like, I guess I've never identified as queer, but gender wise, I'm much less comfortable in general even acknowledging my gender. To me, it's not like, I don't think I'm androgynous or like a tomboy or anything. I just don't feel that connected to my gender, both because of nature and nurture reasons, but I like not thinking about my gender. Whereas this book, it definitely forces you to think about it, but it's definitely not in a traditional way. So I can relate to it. So that is my final thought for this video, and I'm gonna go rest my throat because I just did not sleep well. And I'm really glad I made you this update, which really, I just can't wait to look back and watch, maybe, in like 5 years. So, hope you're having a great day.